how practical is our educational system is what we will be talking about today. I personally, I think to some extent, we are not there yet, but a lot could be done as far as the practicality or the practical nature of our educational system is concerned.
What do you mean by we're not there yet?
I think he's just trying to say that as of now, our system is not practical enough.
It's more of true and poor.
Exactly. Because then, if you say we're not there, it means
we are
on a
there.
journey.
Yes.
We are not even on that journey. That is the beginning of the matter.
Listen, okay, as far as science and its study, okay, general science is concerned, I know I went to Presec, okay, the one in national science. I went to Presec and they had a science lab, okay, and so some scientific concepts are explained in the lab. So yes.
But then it's just in the when we are done with all this chemistry, titration, and all that. That was it.
Oh no, the practical nature is there. My dad was a chemical engineer, a research scientist. Sorry, so they apply it.
Yeah, it depends on what you're going to do after school.
It depends on what you're going to do. I'm a pharmacist. I went to school, learned all those structures. I came out, and even our job system and all that do not give you the opportunity. You just be doing the clinical aspects. You can't be doing the other aspects.
No, that's okay. But then, have you ever thought of the kinds of skills that you learn when you're in school? It's not necessarily that you have to apply it practically. But some of the things that you learn in school, they are just going to teach you how to think, how to do certain research or just analysis. So for me, oh come on, whatever it is that you are doing, it doesn't even have to be your job, just your basic life activities. So sometimes things like math, they'll be like, oh, Pythagoras theorem, all of those things, I'm not using it for anything. But those things taught you how to think or how to use certain methods to get a particular answer. And me, I feel like depending on the field that you are going to be in after school, it might really help you. Maybe not the Pythagoras theorem itself, but just the thinking process. So me, I disagree.
There are many things that make us think.
Like for example,
it's not necessarily.
So let's say you don't go to school. Let's say you don't go to school. What's going to make you think?
Life.
Like for example,
Life will make you think.
What about life?
Let me step in here. Number one, I think what she's saying is that they go hand in hand, the theory and then the
with the practicals, yes.
You understand? And what you said about life teaching you, I bet you there are some people you would expect that they would have some level of maturity because they've gone through life and life has taught them things, but they are not there. Yeah, school. There's a difference.
There are people who haven't gone to school.
Training you get when you go to school.
And when you don't.
There are people who haven't gone to school.
I think what you want to talk about is like enlightenment instead of maturity.
Yes, the intellectual.
If you can be enlightened and still not be mature, you just know things. You can just know
but
things.
what life will teach you is different from what school will teach you. Those are two different things.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that life cannot teach you good lessons. It can. It also depends on the kind of life you have. Not everybody goes through struggles and achieve something out of all of their struggles and all that. Some people have it easy. Yeah. So it varies.
With the little I know, the Western schools, the teachers are taken through like series of training. Even after they get a job, you have to be going for weekly training, and then they better your skills and teach you a lot of things on how to handle, for example, kids, how to work with kids and all of these things. I don't think our education system is so...
They do.
What?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, I don't think our education system is so practical because when you look at, for example, the government sector, the government schools, like the government primary schools and things like that. It's like they are just, teaching them the syllabus and that's done. I believe, like the Western world, they try to have a relationship with the kids. You understand? So then the class, it's not like the students are not so many. You have a few students in the class. I know over here, the international schools and other private schools, they do all of these things. But when you look at like the majority side of like the education system, where you have the government schools and things like that, these things are not put in place. It's like what they give to them to teach the kids, the syllabus. Then you just read and go and write, and then you pass out. But I believe they have to like bring the best out of the kids, because what happens is that the things they teach them, so they give you a topic, to learn and then come and write exams about. If you fail that particular subject or topic, it means like you're not smart. So they have a grading system, first, second, all of these things. But then some of these kids, like out of the class, at home, maybe he has a dad who's a mechanic or something like that, and they are doing things. You understand? So they look at just one side and not actually the full picture. You understand?
But when he started, he said, we are getting there. And I think it's true. A school like Ebri Girls, I also completed Ebri Girls. Freakies for life. I also completed Ebri Girls, and I completed in 2014. Okay, when we were in school, they were not doing all those practical things. It was always about theory. You go to class, you go and learn, the teacher will teach you, and then you come back to the dormitory, you have to learn prep time, all those things. But after school, they had a ceremony, I think the 75th or 73rd, and something I've forgotten. They had an anniversary in the school, and then I realized they had a media team. So now they're training the girls to do practical things they want. No, it shouldn't be about science. Like, I'm coming to school to read science. After school, I want to become a doctor. After school, I want to become a lawyer. If you are capable, if you can do it, fine. No one is saying that you shouldn't do it. Yeah, but maybe there's someone over there who is not that brilliant. The person can take care of the cameras. Certain things. So they are also doing all those. So the visual art students, those who sew, all those things, they are taking into consideration all those things. So I think we are getting there.
No, hold on.
What you said there, you said the teachers were more sort of with the kids outside Ghana.
The reason why I started with the kids is because
if you want to better, okay, cool. And she's also saying you guys have started a practical thing in your school. You said you have started. You see, education is meant to lead the students to where they want to be or get them from point A to point Z.
You start from the scratch.
Now, when we start from nursery, from like your childhood, a teacher must notice that no, this kid is good in this. We don't do that.
Yeah.
You continue to JHS.
Yeah.
They give you like 9 courses.
Yeah.
You fail one, you are not intelligent. To SHS, they broaden it again. Jane Arts, they tell you Jane Arts. You know how broad Jane Arts is?
Very broad.
When you fail one, you are not intelligent. Then you enter university. Brilliant boy, we are course where we dance and things. We are doing practicals, then you are playing drums. But when you ask some of these students, is that what you really want? What do you really want to become? They'll tell you something very far from the course they are doing, just because they did not get the courses they applied for in those schools. If the school system was actually very practical, as some of you are suggesting, that system would be there, where teachers would notice that this kid is good in this, so let's lead him here.
Why should the teacher tell you that you are good in this? You should know.
Because teachers are coaches.
Exactly.
As kids.
And in some schools, like the private schools, like you said, when you guys come to school and they know that, okay, this child is very good at drawing, this child is good at reading, science, they have a way of, grouping all of them. And then when they grow up, they tell their parents, maybe PTA meetings, tell their parents that.
You said, and when they grow up. You understand?
Yes.
So wait, let me finish. Please wait. Don't let me forget my point. Thank you. So when they go for PTA meetings, like they meet their parents one-on-one. Yeah. Your child is good here. Yeah. Your child is in this field. Yeah. Put him here. Exactly. So
courses in second.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. But what he's saying that, you say that they help them identify, right?
Yes.
So where is the practicality? Like the facilities and things to help them? Like in some schools, like the sciences, for instance, in every school we know, like in SS, there's a lab.
Yeah,
there's a science lab, right? That's fine, but there's a lab.
Yeah, there's a different
allocated to the science department. Now, when you come to the arts, what do they have?
Nothing.
Well, in my school, we have had a short department.
I'm asking, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Like, come to the school.
Exactly.
But did you finish though?
I was generalizing.
Okay.
On a general, every school has a science lab.
Yeah.
Or am I kidding? But when you come to the arts, what do they have?
And I'm saying in my school, we had a visual arts department. department.
In your school.
It was a whole department where you see them, some doing ceramics, some doing, like they do a whole lot of things like that will be to your
That's for
imagination.
visual arts,
Wait,
right?
Yes,
Visual
and we had
arts.
That was SHS.
yes.
Visual
Oh, but that's SHS. We are talking about the junior level.
The junior in the junior level, it's not all schools that have
When you're-
science labs.
Exactly. So then some areas or some courses are deprived when it comes to the
Yeah, they
practicality.
place priority on some courses,
Exactly.
like the science
Mainly the
students.
science
Very
students.
true.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's not fair.
So, how practical is our educational system? I think we can actually measure the extent of the practical nature of our educational system when we start being able to solve some of the recurrent issues we have in this country. Flooding, sanitation. Before even we come to corruption, off the top of my head, floods, it's a big issue.
Can you link this, please, to
Yeah.
Yes.
the practicality of the educational system?
So,
He wants to finish.
if we are practical, we have graduates graduating and then being able to apply what they learned in solving the issue we have with sanitation in this country. You know, sanitation is a big issue. And we have just one sanitation management or recycling company, Zoom Lion. They are the major guys in sanitation right now. So we have people who think about underground sewage, engineers,
Systems.
yes, integrated drainage, recycling, transportation.
I'm not trying to cut it, but
Yeah.
my attention is that.
So I'm saying,
How do we develop it?
how do we develop it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so
From the beginning.
Yeah, that's the recommendation
Yes.
I'm trying to
yes.
get my head
So
around.
get this. How do we? I personally, I know I have a practical mind. Okay, the issue is number one.
Did the developments come from you, or it came from the education you had from the scratch?
Not from the scratch though, but then we are different. Okay,
Yeah,
we are
we-
different. So not from we are different. So the thing is, but there are steps that one can take in order to arrive at that point. And the first thing is problems. Even if you want to make money, you are offering a service, it's goods. So people buy and then exchange with money. So you are trying to solve a problem in society. For every problem that we are able to solve in this country.
But
See,
you
the
right
thing
now
is-
what you are
the thing
saying,
is,
you are being
we are not-
personal with it.
See, we are not
You are talking about
to
what
solve
the
problems.
individual can do.
No. He asked the question that what are my
taught to solve
recommendations?
problems in school.
No,
We are not taught to solve problems.
problems.
Yes,
We are
yeah.
taught what is
To answer
there.
questions.
Exactly.
The theories.
It stems from colonialism, I think, because they are still teaching what they've been teaching for many, many years. Nobody is teaching the future.
Funny enough, those who colonized us are solving their issues.
Exactly. And look, you are here, they should be like teaching you on the different problems, how to, because even right now, when you go to uni like this, your project work is supposed to, solve a problem.
Yes.
But when you're done,
They're sitting there. They're just sitting there.
You guys are not thinking about the financial aspects of all of these things. All of these things that you're saying, you have to put it into practice. You need resources. You need something. If we are talking about labs, come on.
Exactly. When there's a will, there's a way.
So you are saying that
people
are
find
sitting
the
on
cheapest
money.
way to do certain things.
Wait, so you are saying that, let's say the teachers or the schools are sitting on money and they don't want to use that money to.
You see, the private schools, they've been saying that the private schools have more of these facilities.
Yes, they
than
do,
the
because
government
they have
schools.
more money, because parents
And
pay
the
more.
government have more money than people's parents.
The most pivotal thing is what you said. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
There was the will to empower science students to be able to do their various projects and assignments and whatever. That's why when you go to every SHS, there's a science lab. Every single SHS. So when there's a will to help art students as well, maybe there'll be an art studio.
No, but
Every school.
wait, Jeff, don't forget.
This then suggests that even the practicality is biased.
Exactly.
Practicality is
No,
biased.
wait.
Do you know what? You made a point, right?
Like we are prioritizing
That's
some.
like it needs to be financed properly. When you go to the teacher training colleges, they pay them allowances, right?
Yes.
And this is the government funding teachers.
Yeah.
So I believe that same step they took years back, they can use it and like better the beginning, what do you call it, stage of the education system we have here. It's about the will.
Exactly.
You get a way.
Because when you start from somewhere, funding will come from somewhere.
It's not always about money.
Let's look at when we
It's
had
not
this
always-
pandemic, right? The government absorbed
The cost.
electrical bills and
Water.
water bills, right? It wasn't something they had prior planned for. But it is something that we were facing, so they absorbed it. You understand? So why can't we channel the same energy?
But then again,
it
Jeff,
means that we haven't realized that there's a need for
That's not
particular-
prioritized.
Because once you realize there is a need for it, as to whether you have the finance or you don't have, because the will is there, you will start
Here's
seeing
the case that in the country that we are.
I don't
Haven't you seen
understand.
videos? Haven't you seen
understand
videos
why
of
you
people?
guys-
Haven't seen videos of people from deprived areas who have built something. They built something. What did they get money from somewhere? Maybe they went to the school.
Yeah, I think there was a
So no,
BC
I want to know. So whose
who
responsibility
made a car
are you?
of some
Whose
sort?
responsibility is it? What
We
you
are
are saying, right?
citizens
Are you
of a
saying that it's the
country.
teacher's responsibility?
No, they are
Are you saying
citizens
it's the
responsibility.
school's
We are not blaming anybody.
Most of the schools in Ghana are government
We're not
schools.
blaming
So at the end of the
Most
day,
of
if
them-
you're putting the responsibility on governments, then I agree. But in the very beginning, you guys were making it seem like, oh, it's the school,
A
or
government
it's the
school.
teachers.
They employ the
May I
teachers.
step in? May I step in?
They employ the teachers, so they are the government's responsibility. And the government saw it fit to employ a certain teacher. And if that teacher is not doing well, we blame the government and we blame the teacher as well.
No, the thing is, the government is not doing its work in the first place, because hardly do you see government, Ministry of Education, or I don't even know what they call themselves now. You hardly see them doing follow up on teachers as to, and even we have to even change the whole syllabus. The syllabus we've been learning from, I don't know what our parents were learning, what our grandparents were learning. They just twist a little and they bring the same thing.
They were studying geography, mathematics. Economics,
now-
geography.
And
The whole
do you know
thing
what's
is
funny? Do you know what's
cumbersome.
funny?
And
Your child will bring. Let me just a child will bring a book home, and the father will be like, we read this book. I remember when I was in school, we read this book. Can you imagine? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to evolve.
yes, because our colonial masters left this kind of educational system for us. Then it's been years. For Ghana, for instance, we've been independent for 60 years plus. We are still relying on that educational system. We have to create our own educational system to suit us, to suit our students, to suit our citizens. But then we don't do that. We are just relying on the old one, and we add some, remove some, thinking we are doing something.
See, when I went to school, I studied business, right? There was this thing they call the FIFO-LIFO.
From GS.
No, SHS. There's first in, first out. It's about stock. The first stock that comes in, maybe is the first to go. I didn't understand that. Since that time, like 2000 Noko. I didn't understand it till 2020. I learned that at my national service posting, that place. I went to procurement. That is why I learned the meaning of first in, first out. Last in, first. I said
So
that.
you
The
learned
teacher
on the job.
simply told us on the job. He just told me, you see, first in, first out means that the first stock that comes in, that's the first stock that comes out.
That's the point I was trying to make. Syllabus.
So, you see, you won't get it. But when I got there, I was asking them, what does it mean? He said, with time, I will get it. I was thinking he was being lazy or something. But eventually, I understood the reorder level, minimum stock level.
Come on now.
Why Jimpo? You be there, you just know, okay, it's time to order more.
That's the same
understand?
way the sociology I studied in University of Ghana. All of the theories, I didn't see an African,
Exact.
with a theory, an African who actually, propounded a theory where it fits into our society. Every time it was about, Rockefeller, all studying about the. You understand? So I was expecting something that we can really relate to, and I realized that most of the things they were teaching us, if you went on, like back then, if you went on like websites and things like that, that's the exact same thing that they print out for us to read. And I'm thinking, how is that gonna?
Are lazy.
And I'm thinking how.
It's the lecture.
And I'm thinking how is that going to challenge me to make a change in my society? Because what they are doing is that they are nurturing us to serve the Western system.
Yes.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, you have impacted in me, Western stuff. So then all of my attention, all of my focus, all of my ambition.
Meanwhile, you're in a different geography.
You feel me?
You want to wear suit and tie.
And
Finish, want to wear suit and
Let me
tie.
address this. See, there's nothing wrong with wearing a suit and tie.
I'm not saying there's
Yeah.
anything.
We know you're a
But
suit
see,
and tie guy.
Yes.
We know.
See,
we know.
Second,
here we there. The dirty jobs.
Oh yeah, you can wear a suit and tie and get
Listen to
dirty.
me. No, you come on.
Oh yeah. Let me make a point.
Don't point.
I hadn't brought my point, so what are you defending?
Yeah,
He
declaring the
started.
fact that you can get dirty even in your suit is
No.
lie.
The suit
Okay,
is now
it's a
sort
lie.
of like a metaphor.
Within the
So
season,
everybody wants a white collar job.
no,
You
You
understand?
see, he wasn't being literal.
You understand? Like, listen, you can own a chain of stores.
Yeah.
And still make money. You understand? But nobody thinks of that because most of the time you want to. You just, we are applying. That's what we do. When we are done with school, we apply for jobs because there's nothing here. The only thing there is page
Oh, but
16
right now
of the science.
entrepreneurship in Ghana is rising.
It's
People are
right.
making yes.
On
People are
on
making
the scale of
their
1 to
own
10.
businesses. Come
On the scale of
on,
1
come
to
on.
10.
Now,
No, see,
I beg.
It's a
Let me step in now.
Most entrepreneurs we have right
finish
now,
the talk.
they are
DM for prices. Is that what you're talking
no, not that. They are not necessarily in to solve problems. They are just
Which
there to
people?
make money
Which people?
out of necessity. People
Entrepreneurs.
just want to make
That's what
money.
but that's
Saying.
because of the kind of country that we live in. Because poverty is
That's what I was about to
rampant.
say.
It's not about that. Oh, people, why you think they are just money makers? That's all that they
Wait,
want.
I don't
It's
even say it's
just
bad.
Do you realize what
I
we
never
are
say it's
talking
bad.
about?
That was your point.
My
More
point.
issues than one. Like a lot of things are being talked about here. What you talked about with regards to entrepreneurs and only making money on their minds, it's a different thing. It doesn't have to necessarily do with how practical the educational system is. If the society, let me
Wait,
finish.
based on what he was saying.
If the society is, yes, that's why I said you are sort of like losing the, yes. So I wanted to make a point.
Yeah.
Let's leave that. First of all, let me give this example, or you let me leave it. I wanted to address the suit and tie thing. The suit and tie thing. Now let's stay on topic. So do you realize that these days you have more private startups than, let me even say, last year?
Yes.
Delivery for one.
DM for prices.
Exactly. Like, and people sell all sorts of things. It's like online traffic vending. So you go online, Twitter right now, you can get virtually anything. You can even get a car. They started.
I'm not counting.
Why did
but
that start?
don't you think it's because of desperation and the fact that most of us don't
Out
know
of
where-
necessity.
No. Wait. We are
But there
losing.
is also markets for it. Just
Yes, exactly. You see, there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with trying to make money.
At all.
It is better than stealing it or getting money through illegitimate means. Do you understand? There's nothing wrong with starting a business in order to make money. But the thing here is, by virtue of the kind of situation or the kind of jurisdiction we find ourselves, you have no choice. There are very few people who can break away from that mentality of, okay, so I'm really not interested in the money, but then I want to solve a problem in society.
Okay.
Follow excellence,
Yeah.
okay, and then the money chases you. Many people don't understand this. We are like, okay, you want to marry at this age. You have goals. You are supposed to get this car at age 50. And then you are 45 and then you don't see it coming anywhere. Like nothing is dropping. Okay, can you blame them? You can't.
The
Okay.
silver star is
The
necessary.
thing.
The silver star.
What was that? Luck.
That's Mercedes Benz, bro.
So the thing here.
That's what
The
will
thing
push
here.
you to do. No,
Yes, it's motivation in itself.
It's not giving me something to do. My pressure will give me something to do.
But then,
Okay.
That's why I
I
said
think
life.
You understand?
again, the whole system has been corrupted in that even as the child is growing, the parents will tell you that go to school so that you come out and you come and take care of me, or you come out to get money. Have you seen
So wait, let me ask you a question. Which parent actually says that? My dad never told me that. My mom never said this.
He expects expect you to do it. Maybe they will
They
not tell you
expect you to
directly in
do
your
it.
face, but
Because
they
me
expect
per
you
se,
to do it.
my mom told me that I didn't get the opportunity to go to school, and Legon didn't give you the course you wanted. So I'm taking you to Central so that you become a pharmacist, so that you don't become like me. Because she was a vendor. She was selling also.
businesswoman,
Yes. She didn't even see it as a fact that being a businesswoman is about like she's getting money. But she said, I don't want you to become like me. I don't want you to suffer like me. Go and become a pharmacist like.
Education.
Yes.
It's down to the mindset.
That's the
that has
mindset.
been
But
embedded
then
in us.
when I was going to school, the reason I went to do pharmacy was not to get money, because I just wanted to play with chemicals, and I knew that when I go to the pharmacy school, I'll get the opportunity to play with all sorts of chemicals and do what I want to do. Get to the lab, do what I want to do. So the mentality, most
trying to
Make some
dangerous things.
no.
But then with what she said, it means she said she knew that she would have access to those things. Coming back to what I said earlier, that when you come to the arts, they don't have. If a child says, wait, maybe listen. Maybe a child wants to be a radio presenter.
Okay.
I know.
That's why there's talented kids and all that. Like, now giving them those avenues.
We are talking about the school. We are talking about the school. In the school, you understand? If there, if there's like
communication schools in Ghana here.
Check this out.
You said communication school.
High school.
Is it?
That's already a higher level of education.
In abroad, high school. No, listen.
Let me finish.
See,
let me finish.
I come to answer to your point there.
No, let me finish.
Oh, are you waiting?
Let me finish. No, you can't. I will let you talk.
Don't forget it.
Just wait a bit.
She was saying that no, not at all. She was saying that she knew that when she enters the lab, she'll be able to play with chemicals. She had the interest in it and it drove it, right? She knew that she was going to be practical with it. When you come to the arts, maybe a child wants to be, say, a radio presenter. You understand? There's no like media.
That is what I was talking about when I said resources.
For the child, you understand? So maybe even from the onset, the interest might sway a bit.
So what is available?
You understand? To what is available. Maybe somebody, there are some kids that they learn by practicing. Like the way she was interested in the thing. Like she sees it with her eyes that, oh, these are the chemicals that I've been deliberating about all the time. So I'll go there instead. But maybe my strengths are not even there. So the practicality is biased.
In addition, if you go abroad, high schools, they have magazines, school magazines, school radio, school this.
Thank you.
So if you are interested in the arts, you'll be like, when you go to school, you'll be like, I want to join this team, I want to join that. If you're interested in science,
they have a band.
They have science fairs for the science people.
What you guys are talking about really comes down to money. How can you be running a whole band system or a school journal and magazine without money? Honestly.
If the church brigade has a band, the church brigade has a band to train people who are musically inclined, why can't the school get instruments and teachers?
The school has been collecting school fees for years.
So we should go to church and go and learn that.
Because when you go to school, they'll tell you school fees. Okay, now they are doing the free SHS program, so I don't even. But when I was in school, when you go for your bill, you see the school fees. Then you see PTA dues. In my school, the PTA dues was like 3 times the actual school fees.
What school is that?
I went to Odogono Senior High School. When I was in school, your actual school fees is like about maybe 40 cedis or 45 cedis, miscellaneous. Then PTA fees is like 150 cedis. Then all those things. And the PTA
is listed under the PTA.
They'll tell you school project, welfare, and you want to do some lab and all that. Miriam and Kwame, so rest in peace. As for at least we saw the progress, because you pay the PTA dues into a different account, and we saw Vodafone and other partners partnering with her to do a lot of projects. So each school can implement that. But now the free education program, I don't know how it looks like. It seems they are all relying on the government. So until governments bring books, and teachers can't ask children to buy books. They can't ask them to do this until governments bring this. And government can solve all of us, because government has a lot of things to handle.
Sports, right? When you are in school, I don't want to mention my is it my PE teacher or my sports master's name it's a very bad thing. When I was in JHS, do you know you had to bribe this man to get in the school team? Think about it. Like you are talented, you understand? You are talented though. You have to bribe this man to get in the school team. We are in Africa, like we are black people. Like we are naturally gifted. Like when it comes to sports and all those things. Like I feel we are very gifted. When you go outside the country, like they have programs right from the basic level to integrate you through the system to get to the very top of the sporting chain, like the NBA, NFL, you get it. But here, there's no such system. Like all our talent is just wasting away.
And sometimes the perception about certain jobs.
Hey, you tell your mother that Oko Bobo.
Problem.
I see my guy here. If he the whole boy, bro.
Growing up, I had the height, but I was told that I dare not do anything sports. So back in school, they forced me even to play basketball. I had to cry, so they told me not to come for training again because I've been psyched up that don't do anything sports.
But what was the reason? My God-given talent.
Sorry, what was the reason?
My parents had their own issues. I don't even
listen to this. Listen to this. My God-given talent was football. Straight. And when I was growing up, older people liked me because of football. Like, everyone knew me. My dad used to buy me, like...
Everything.
Yes, but do you know what my mom did? That if I continue playing football, that's the word she used, I'll be a kubalo. Means, you know, like, I'll be out of school. I won't take school serious. She wanted me to fit into that system which has been designed for us to, you know, go into, regardless. You know? And I felt the passion, you know, even when I was sitting in class, I wanted to go and play football. Aww. I was doing good in school, all right. Exactly. But she felt like I should ignore the football and focus on school. So when I went to school, I realized that, of course, I was still going to school. It wasn't like I was out of school. When I forgot about the football, I was in school doing well here and there. But I realized that, like, the system shut me down. And the reason is because I wasn't good in math. And the teacher would always make me feel very, very bad about myself. You know, so he shut down my spirit. And even in the school, like, sports wasn't so like motivating like that. Yeah. I lost it. And now my little brother who's playing like football and stuff like that, most of his friends, they are in the UK, they are over here, they are everywhere. And my dad is trying to push him everywhere to play football now. You know, because the education system hasn't been favorable enough. Exactly. I'm done with, you know, I'm done with the university. I've studied so many things from primary up until now.
There can be osmosis, diffusion, and pollination more important than your talent.
See, there could have been if at the time that he was coming.
Played a role because you know certain things are there. When you put it in place, parents want to be reluctant. You know. Most parents know that when you go to teacher training, when you go to nursing training, when you read nursing, medicine, pharmacy, UPR, when you come out of school, automatically you are going to get a job. Even if you don't get it the same year, eventually government is going to post you and all that. So now, if there were to be something that, okay, so you come to primary schools, junior high, senior high, you pick all those doing very well, because I have cousins who are good at running, like naturally we are all tall. But then they'll run for their school, run for uni, run. And at the end of the day, so because it's not there, when maybe your mom has seen that, oh, my elder sister's daughter or son did this and ended up nowhere, he or she wouldn't want you to be there, so they'll tell you, don't even start. Just focus. But then, if those things were to be in place, the parents will be motivated.
But how do you think this has affected us? The fact that we're all in school, there was no practical aspect to what we're doing. And sometimes you get somewhere, you wonder, hey, where am I going to? Like, you need some sort of guidance. You understand?
Let me say this. You mentioned running.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah. Swimming, tennis, we can add all.
Music. Okay, so I want us to really assess this. The theory is relevant. Okay. Something came to mind while we were discussing. How many of us can visualize the humans or the cell? What the cell? When we say cell, I know.
Okay, and let me take myself out.
Yes.
So that it won't be like.
So those who don't have a science background, I'm not talking about the schematic drawings we see in books. I mean like functionality. Okay, when we say the cell, what it's supposed to do, what it is, usefulness. Because what I believe, if you understand how cells function, what they need, how they extract energy, then you can run better because you know at what point you need the energy.
I want to ask you a question since she's in the sciences.
Okay.
Is there any experimental way that you were taught about a cell?
Okay, so we're using microscopes.
Yeah.
Then
You see, so instantly, right? She has an edge. She has an edge over the person who hasn't been in the laboratory to see what. No, I'm just saying something.
Finish my point.
I'm just saying something.
Yeah.
I'm buttressing the bias of the system. She has an advantage. If there was a soccer academy for Joshua to enter, right? He will be sitting down and looking on the board, and there will be a coach telling him that when you're in this position, you have to run and cross the ball to this guy so that you understand.
You need it
Those things are done.
Jeff,
you've
made your point, but I want
because
to
you
come.
know at
I as a
19,
teacher, I've taught before. Okay, I as a teacher, okay. There are many stakeholders when it comes to education. Okay, you as the teacher, without even the necessary tools like a microscope, you should be able to describe a cell to someone for them to understand.
Agreed.
Yes. So in that same regard, if someone wants to do music is it's like it's an effect created by your voice, can be created by your voice, can be created by a musical instrument and all those things. So listen to me. So I'm saying that it is not really about the biased nature of the practical.
It is.
Let me finish. It is not that. It is not that, because even without a science lab, a teacher can explain concepts for the child to get it. So then it rests on the various stakeholders in our education system.
We've put in round different pegs in square
You
holes.
mentioned music, right?
Yeah.
You're a teacher.
Yes.
You want to teach me to play a piano.
Yes.
And you don't have a piano, or you don't have a guitar.
Yes.
Teach me.
No, you can't just improvise. You can improvise.
Remember when we were in primary, they were teaching us music and dance. Who met that time? Maybe some of you.
Yes.
And they were like, they drew the stuff for us.
Yeah.
And they said that every good boy deserves. Do you know how that thing works on an instrument?
The writing was maybe speaking.
Okay, so you know,
No, so now
I can imagine
if I give you a piano,
Exactly.
and I say
See, imagination is more important too.
no. I know that when you start, that's what I can imagine.
You've drawn the stuff for me.
Yeah.
You've told me these stand for every good boy deserves favor. This is do re mi fa whatever.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how many keys a piano has? You should show me that piano when you put in front of you. This thing I put here is here. This is, but I don't know. Meanwhile, that thing is still in my. I know how a treble clef is. I know how a bass clef is, but I do not know what to use
Never
that.
learn how to play a piano without a piano in front of you.
And the thing is,
You say imagination is.
Imagination.
Let me tell you. That's when I will tell you that
Imagination
everybody's IQ level is not the same.
yeah, exactly.
But everyone has an imagination.
Which is also not the same, by
varies.
the way. Which also varies.
No. If
It's
I
also
have, let
varies.
me make this right. If I have an imagination, I can infect you with it. That is what people who brainwash people do.
Do you know
what?
You can have. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. You can have a perfect imagination and not know how to properly communicate it to your students.
Are lacking as far as communication.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the teachers we have now. Like, let's look at them. That's the problem.
Most of the teachers, I think I'm shouting. Most of
You're doing the moves, but when you stand there, you can't do it.
most of
your
the
mind,
teachers we
you
have
are
now.
dancing. In your mind, you are
I
dancing.
think the problem here is that his imagination is very wild, which cannot be compared to some of us. Because me, I can't learn how to play the piano from a board. I cannot do that.
Something you have to put yourself in everybody's
Because I've done it.
In your
No,
mind,
I can put myself in his
He's asking me a question. You let
in your mind, can you do leg work?
leg work.
It's dancing. Can you do?
When you're sitting down,
In your mind, can you do it?
No, I can't do it.
Then you are lacking in your imagination. You
When
are lacking in your
I'm sitting
imagination.
down and I think about it and I see you do it, I'm like, this is easy.
This is it. But when you
just
start
stand up
doing it,
and I
that's when
stand
you
up
know
like
that
this.
you can't do it.
Yeah, your imagination is unreal.
Let me give you an
No,
example.
I understand where you're coming from. You know, you teach with passion.
You want to shoot him down? Let him.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
Because he teaches with passion. He teaches with passion. He thinks that every teacher teaches with passion. But then the truth is that most people ended up as teachers because they didn't get A1 in math or in science and maybe their parent didn't have the money, so they told them, go to teacher training. Government will even pay you. They came out and now, so everything is frustrating them.
Yes.
So when he or she comes to class, he doesn't have the zeal to teach you. But he is talking from passion, so he thinks that all teachers teach that way.
Let me just talk about this thing. You see how in the West again, how internships are very, very serious.
Yes.
Over here, even to get an internship opportunity at a place is difficult.
No.
You know,
See. Do you know? See, Joshua.
Oh, no.
Joshua.
Oh,
that's true.
Joshua. I beg.
Okay, I guess
I
it
beg.
depends
Some-
on where.
Oh yeah, where? Yes.
What do you mean by difficult?
Joshua.
What do you mean by difficult?
Are you trying to tell me that if I walk to any institution right now and then I go and tell them that no, without pay, I just want to experience you guys, you think they'll sack me?
Is it like, they don't-
No, it's not about that. What do you mean by difficult?
You are not obligated.
What do you mean by difficult? That's what me
You
I
are not
want to know.
obligated to pay me. You don't have to pay me. Like,
Okay. So the thing is, not everyone will go there and tell them, oh, you don't have to pay me.
that is the essence of internship.
I know, but I'm saying, just like you said.
Yeah, I did a paid internship.
You understand?
But I did a lot of internships where I wasn't paid. Most of the internships I did when I was in school, they didn't pay me. So let's be real.
So why I did my service, when internships, when they come there, when interns come, they do pay them, right?
Yeah.
They give them money. So you don't have to tell them that, oh, you don't have to pay me. It's
No,
something
it
that's there.
depends. You understand? It depends on what your goal is. Because I have interned at a lot of places where I didn't collect money. I wanted the experience.
So
I wanted to have something to put on my
They
CV.
didn't pay you at all, or you didn't ask for the money.
No,
I mean, it's a firm. Let's say it's a law firm because I studied law. So it's not like I can come and ask them for money. It's a non-paid internship. I'm applying for it. I send my CV. I write the letter, all of
already
those
knew
things. Or I knew beforehand. I knew
it's
beforehand it
fine,
wasn't
yeah.
paid.
Oh,
So I don't know. So I'm trying to understand.
When I was going to do internship,
I'm trying to understand the
knew,
point.
Like people,
Yes, you know that they are going to pay you, or you know that they are not going to pay you. It's your choice.
As far as the practical thing we are talking about is concerned,
Students have to be motivated.
There are two things that I did or I learned how to do before I even got the practical tools to practice. There are two things: riding a motorbike and then sewing.
Because you had the interest.
What is interest? Isn't imagination?
Again, you started with this, your imagination.
But you
No. Think about it.
sometimes your interest is even shut down by the people around you.
Exactly, and the mentality that you have as
It
well.
means, as far as the practicality of our education system is concerned,
Do you know how many times Josh lay in his bed dreaming of himself playing for Real Madrid?
Listen,
Where was the imagination there?
what you said yesterday, I was having a conversation with a friend, and he told me that when he wanted to go to university, right, he applied for Ghana schools, he wasn't getting. So then he told his parents that he wants to, go and study abroad. Cool. They took him to an agency, and the guy, he went with his parents, and the guy asked him, oh, what course would you want to study? You know what said? He's into IT. He said he wants to go and study computer gaming. That's what he wants to go and study. And the parents insulted him very well.
that you are not serious.
Yes! Because they didn't
Very
see,
true. What you're describing, it happens very
they didn't see the need to pay all that money
Yes,
for
go
him to go and
study
study
computer
computer gaming. But then it's big money. You understand? So the point you made, like, it can be shut down you
Like
know,
the people around.
yeah, the people
Also-
around you,
also-
then the
But it's
people who are
also because of the society that we live in. The parents are thinking that you go and study your game, you come back to Ghana and do what? You'll be sitting in your house doing nothing.
You, the individual, should give your
No, but
parents
if the
every
society
reason
doesn't
why
really
you have to do
approve
that.
or
Because
encourage that particular
if you don't
field.
give them the reason, like my kid brother, for instance, he
that's another battle to win your mind.
he when he was young, unless you don't leave your gadget, he would. So at a point, when he told my parents he wouldn't go to tech, he wanted to go to Ghana Telecom, my parents were like, hey, no, you have to go to tech and all that. And he decided to give them every reason. He just mobilized people. When your laptop is spoiled, bring it. To the extent that he, how do they say it? Is it on the code or whatever? When you go and bring someone's stolen phone, iPhone, and you can do everything so that the person. So it became a case, and my mom, and he was like, until I go to, I won't stop this. So he gave them a reason. So my parents knew that, okay, so if this boy keeps staying here, people will steal people's phone and they'll bring it and he'll keep doing it. So they just had to.
This is a kid
allow
who
him
is
go
who
to
is
school.
strong-willed.
So your strong will should.
He's strong-willed, but what about the kid who doesn't have the strong will?
Listen. So I think what we have actually discovered is that this practical thing,
It's just bias.
it is wait.
It's bias.
Wait, that's number one.
It's bias, child.
Number two is that it is not. It shouldn't be limited to our educational system. It should be limited, or it should be taken further to the kind of people we are. Society.
Bring it down to our homes.
Yes.
You see, no, well, I want to say something. Learning on the job works really well. That is why practicals is really good. Because where I did my service, I did freight forwarding. Me, I did not study freight forwarding. I studied accounting, but I did freight forwarding. I was able to clear goods from the airport and bring them out. The stages you follow. That's right. The stages you followed. Like I followed somebody to the warehouse. He said, you do this, you do examination, you do this, you do this. When you do it by yourself, one day he said, okay, this is a small package that has come. Go and clear it. And I went, I did it. When I came, I was like, I'm a freight forwarder. I'll clear something. So if you want to do theory, fine. You do theory alongside practical. So you teach, this is what you do. Maybe the next day, you do something practical. Then the other day, you let the person do it by themselves. And see how it goes. When you go, exactly.
So advocate that students also take it up upon themselves that they wouldn't rely solely on government or their schools. Sometimes you have to do things for yourself. Me, when I was in school, internship started from I think level 200, but right from level 100. When I came home, my mom had talked to one hospital and I started my internship and all that.
I 100% agree with you. When it comes to internships,
But then some students will just wait. So I know people who forge internship reports. Like they won't do the internship. They'll just stay home because they know maybe you have to do your internship at maybe you work with let's say, okay, let me use pharmacy. So eventually I have to do community, hospital, industry, regulatory. So but maybe my daddy works with FDA. I will just stay home. At the end of the day, my daddy will take it to somebody there. They will stamp it.
But that's to your own detriment. I don't understand the mentality.
No, wait. That is because the students think that, why should I waste my time to go there and do this? Because they don't have the interest. But then when we advocate that students get their interest, the school is not giving you practical things. So you to take it up upon yourself
Don't
and
just
do.
tell people to get the
So-
interest.
so-
Hey,
Is it that they don't
get
have
the
interest in the
interest.
course?
You have to-
Or what don't they have interest
They
in?
have to know what they're interested in. Then they will push.
Okay, you went into another field. Sure, you went into another field. But here right now, what I think we can all agree on is that okay, we are practical to some extent, but then it shouldn't be limited to the education system. Okay, we as individuals, as a society, as a country, as a nation, we should also be practical in our thoughts in order to apply that same practicality even in our education.
Also, talking about starting from when people are young, you see, people, even in extracurricular activities, there is theory in them.
Yeah.
So music, somebody can take a guitar and learn from YouTube, but then there's music theory. So you can start music theory from when they are young. So you can start football, they go to class and they learn certain things. There are other things that that are not book and how I put, they are not in the curriculum or something
That you need to learn.
that you still need to learn theory about it. So those things too, they can start from, so that when they discover people's talents, they already have something in mind about this, so they'll be able to apply it there. You know that if I play for settle, and then you see.
I also think that like parents, right? I think they are the first
Point of
people. Yeah, like
they should know first.
growing up, they are the people that you look up to first before you even step out.
Speak up.
You even step out of the house. You understand? So our parents too. I don't know.
There should be a support system.
Yeah, the ignorance is too much.
Yes.
It is too much.
You
Our
when
parents,
we're young, when you go for your parents' phone set, let's say maybe you are young, you're into technology. Your mother's phone is there. You would like to see how the phone works. If you when you were young, if you touch your mother's phone, what does she do to you?
the way she will snatch it from you.
Apart from snatching,
Because probably you burn one bar of a battery.
that's all.
You want to, but when you grow up, they say, oh,
Show mommy.
You see, me when it happens like that, I don't teach my mom. I don't. No. Sorry, I don't do it for her. I teach her.
Yeah, so that she knows how to
So
do
that
it
when I'm not
later.
around, you can do
I
it.
tried to teach my, I said do it.
I want to make a point. Like parents, students, the government, like we should all accept that education is expensive. You know, if you are going to do it, then we need to do it right.
Well.
You understand? We don't have to be mediocre about it, and it's just anyhow. So yeah.
I agree with you, Pa.
So, to summarize, what I said still holds. Well, I think you can do.
Just stop when you talk.
So what I said, I think I said it before that the point where we can actually agree that we are practical enough is when we start solving many of the issues we have in this country. I think that's all. Yeah. So I think you wanted to say something.
I didn't want to say.
I mean, I agree with what you said. Definitely. By the time, okay, let me just say that I actually do think that we are developing slowly, but we are, honestly. If right now at this stage, maybe, like you said, science labs are there, maybe in the future we would have musical schools even, I don't know, but so far so good. And I definitely think that by the time that we can actually solve the problems that we have, then we can say that our educational system is practical, just like you said. So yeah.